All right, welcome everyone to the Outdoor Ethics Virtual Roundtable. Please stay muted. We are recording this tonight, so all youth can turn off their video now. That'd be great. Tonight's agenda includes the welcome by me. We'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, Scout Oath and Law, and the Outdoor Code, followed by the safety moment, introduction of our presenters, their presentation, and then some Q&A if we have time. We'll adjourn properly at 8:30.
Okay, everybody, I would like to, before I introduce our newest member that you just met, if you have questions, please put them in chat and we'll answer them as we go through the program. You were just listening to Ann Cantola, who is the newest member of our roundtable, and she has just given you the agenda. So what we're going to do now is we're going to begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. Those in uniform, hand salute. Those not in uniform, hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so everybody else was muted. I don't know how that happened. Okay, now we'll do the, hi Axel. Now we'll do the Scout Oath and Law. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God my country and to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. A Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent. Next slide. As an American, I will do my best to be clean in my outdoor manners, be careful with fire, be considerate in the outdoors, and be conservation minded. Now we have another new member to our committee here of our roundtable team, and her name is Michelle Bierstadt, and she is going to do our safety moment tonight.
Since we're talking about service, we want to make sure that we're doing safe projects. So we have this new safe project tool for safe guidance for scouting service. So what is service? We have lots of different forms of service, whether it's an Eagle Scout project, a working with a unit, working with the community, working with our chartered org. No matter what our service is, we have this new planning checklist that can help us make sure that we are being safe, because we all want to be safe and have our scouts and our community members being safe when we are doing service and helping others, doing that teamwork. There are two websites that we can now go to. So we have the filestore.scouting.org health and safety PDF. And it's 680-027 and 680-028. One of them is the Safe Project Tool use, which also includes at what point each scout level can do things. So whether they are an incoming lion or whether they're our oldest venture and explorer scouts, we have the guide to safe scouting. Well, that document is always changing. This PDF gives you a one-page quick reference guide. And yep, I think Paula was going to do that, to put the two links into the chat. Paula, if you can still do that, that would be awesome. So what is safe? What are we talking about when we use the acronym SAFE? Just like so many things in scouting, the first one is for supervision. Is there qualified adult supervision on site? They should have the knowledge, skills, and abilities to operate or supervise the operation of the tools. Remember that young scouts cannot use power tools. That's the adult moment. Young scouts, however, can use things like rakes and small trowels, things that fit their hands. One of the things that always gets me is when we're doing like a building service project with Eagle Scouts, it's wonderful to include the Webelos and those just crossing over, but they are smaller. So having the proper size hammers or the proper size tools for them to use is critically important. Having the adult supervision there to make sure that they are being safe and using tools properly is just as important. The assessment. Check the area of the project for any hazards and clear the workspace for tool use between participants. Again, a clean station is a happy station and everybody can stay safe. If you are going to be doing a cleanup along a roadside, for example, with older scouts on cleaning up the ditches, make sure that those scouts are not the ones closest to the road. Put them a little bit further down. So is the area safe for the group that we are with? Do you have work gloves, safety glasses, or a face shield if needed? Are there safety helmets or hard hats? Earplugs or earmuffs if it's going to be extremely loud? Sturdy work boots. Make sure they're not wearing flip-flops for a lot of the service that we do. Protective aprons or clothing. Are they dressed for the weather? If this weekend, for example, we had a lot of wind and rain in South Dakota, are they properly dressed? Do they have the rain gear on? Do they have warm enough clothes? You don't want to get out on a service project and then have somebody have a medical issue because they were improperly dressed. And then recommendations of the tool manufacturer. Is it appropriate for the age you're working with? Fitness and skills. Do they know how to use the tools? Are they physically and emotionally and socially mature enough? And that goes for both youth and adults. Lions and tigers should not be using tools during service projects. They're kind of on the smaller side. They're great at handling a bag if you're doing a cleanup, or handing you the flowers if you're doing a planting at your chartered org or something like that, but they should not be using tools. Even rakes are a little bit too tall for them. And then the equipment and the environment. Leaders should follow the most restrictive and protective guidelines. So using the table, which again is that table that's in the Guide to Safe Scouting, is not 100% comprehensive. You can go in and you can find a tool that doesn't fit. So use your best judgment, follow those manufacturer safety literature about age and skills, and look at your scouts. I have some 6-year-olds that are the size of 10-year-olds, and I have some 10-year-olds that are the size of 6-year-olds. So make sure that you're looking at their physical strength as part of those guidelines as well. All work at any elevation 4 feet or higher is prohibited for any youth. The first 3 steps of a step stool or ladder may be appropriate for older scouts, BSA, venturing, or Sea Scouts. Work below the grade that includes trenching or excavation 2 feet deep or more is not appropriate for projects. Below grade work such as shallow foundations, post holes, or trail work is appropriate if using hand tools for youth. No power tools. Make sure that all underground utilities are clear of the area before you do any digging work. Okay. We live by a river. Our community has a big river cleanup. If your community has something similar when working around water, make sure that you're following all the water recommendations. Do you have swimmers? Are you keeping the younger scouts away from it? Is it appropriate for some of the young scouts to have on life jackets if you're working on or near a dock? So those common sense things will keep everybody safe, make the project successful, and everybody will have a great time. With your safety moment, I'm Michelle Bierstead. Thank you.
So at this time, I have the privilege of introducing Scott Anderson, who is the chair of the National Outdoor Ethics Committee. He's going to talk to us about the topic at the most important right now because it started and we need to get going on it. So Scott, whenever you're ready.
Thank you so much, Paula. Greetings, everybody, and thank you for joining us to explore this exciting new program, the Summer of Service. I will start with a quick plug. The National Outdoor Conference will be held virtually this year on Friday and Saturday, November 5th and 6th. The conference themes: membership growth through outdoor programs, property utilization, and diversity, equity, and inclusion. So save the dates. I'm sure it'll be a very rewarding program on that Friday and Saturday. Now to our topic at hand, our roundtable presentation. It's going to be divided into 4 sections. First will be an overview of our Summer of Service. Second will be the importance to outdoor ethics. And then I'm going to share with you some ideas on outdoor ethics service projects. And then the last thing on the agenda tonight, I'm going to make a big announcement. This is hot off the press, and I can't wait to tell you about it. So hopefully you can hang with us till the end. So the global pandemic has disrupted many of our normal rhythms of work, school, home, and scouting in our society. Virtual work and learning via the internet have bridged many basic gaps, but virtual scout meetings and activities can only go so far. It is hoped by planning and delivering on a commitment to others, units will become invigorated and promote solidarity as a unit and pride and purpose as individuals continue down the scouting trail. Scouting youth will have the opportunity to learn about responsibility for others, personal discipline and leadership, and about the real needs of their neighbors or greater communities. They will have formative experiences leading them to say, I was there, we saw a need, I did my best. We made a real difference. Councils in their districts will benefit from greater community visibility and general awareness of the value of local scouting. By featuring the multitude of good works produced by local scouts through all available social media, print, broadcast media, communities and stakeholders will receive a clear message that local scouting is strong, valued, relevant, and ready to continue serving our neighbors and our nation. Many new resources and friends can be garnered by the scouting community through collaborating with community agencies and non-scouting families. Communities during these disrupted and stressful times will have the opportunity to leverage the capacity of willing scouts and families in support of targeted initiatives to address pressing issues and unmet needs. While our scouting community will learn about diversity of challenges and our current needs of our fellow citizens, community leaders will become reacquainted with the invaluable public resource and enduring civic asset that is scouting has long constituted. Meaningful service, faithfully delivered, will demonstrate that local scout programs continue to strengthen communities, families, and young citizens. So the parameters of service: all service should adhere and follow the BSA standards and guidelines. The impact of any project should not benefit scouting, but serve the community. Service can be individual or with a family. It can be unit-based, council or district organized, or with associated volunteer groups. And the time frame for all this service began on April 1st and concludes on October 31st, 2021. So it is truly a summer of service, and all service can count toward advancement. Now, what do I need from you? Well, truth of the matter is we want to share this information. We want to make sure we share it with our youth members, with our units, with our council and district volunteers. Get the word out and help get scouts and scout units motivated to participate in this year's Summer of Service. So how does a scout get involved? What do they need to do? Well, the Summer of Service website lays out 5 easy steps. The first being to plan. Find a way to serve others, whether it is a spur of the moment opportunity or a planned project. Serve. Do your project or activity anytime between now and October 31st. And then we want you to post it. Show your Scout spirit. Post about your service on social media and tag others to do the same. Tell us about what you did. So report it, and you'll see a link on the website. Tell us about your project. And there a form pops up that gives you a chance to enter all the things that you did and how many people were involved. And then lastly, we want you to celebrate. Celebrate the Scouts' good work. Certificates and identity items are available to help your celebrations. A Scout is kind. It's part of our oath and law to help other people at all times and to be helpful, courteous, and kind. This summer, let's be helpful and kind through service. The Summer of Service has 4 areas of focus. And don't worry if something you want to do doesn't fit neatly into one of those categories. Just about anything you can think of that helps others will qualify. The first area of focus is health and wellness. Parts of our oath and law ask us to strive for a healthy lifestyle. That's especially important when we navigate through the COVID pandemic. Along with a focus on our own personal health and wellness during times like these, our Scout spirit demands that we also reach outward, that we help others in and around us and their quest to stay healthy and safe. Whether it's learning CPR or making face coverings, there are many ways, big and small, to focus on health and wellness. So here are just a few simple ideas. And all of these can be found on the website under each category. You can learn CPR, teach it to someone else after you got certified, organize a neighborhood blood drive, repair bicycles and teach bike safety to neighborhood children, create and distribute pamphlets and posters about making healthy eating choices, teach a first aid workshop in your neighborhood, make and donate face coverings to schools and churches in your area, conduct an 8-hour of sleep challenge with your family for 30 days, work with your school nurse and physical education coaches to develop a fitness challenge for your school. So you can see there are many, many ways, big and small, that you can focus on health and wellness. Next up is the environment. Service projects that relate to sustainability and the environment are a great way to engage in the Summer of Service. Here are a few ideas to get you thinking what might be appropriate for you and your family. You could take a trash bag and gloves with you on your next run or a family walk and pick up any trash you see. Beautify the school grounds or a community public area. Adopt a local park. Commit to fewer plastic bags. Plant a rooftop garden. Build a bird habitat. Perform an energy audit of your own home. Set up a recycling system where there isn't one. Or set up a recycling seminar to teach people about what is really recyclable and what is not. Organize a cleanup day at a national or state park. And where permitted, maybe you could create rain barrels to conserve water and prevent runoff. Neighbors in need is the next focus area of the Summer of Service. Serving the most in need is at the core of Scouting's ideals. We've always been there to help people when they need it most, and now is no exception. Through large ways or small, you can make a real impact in someone's life. Here are a few ideas from the website. You could do a chore for someone who cannot easily do it themselves. Mow a lawn, rake leaves, fix a mailbox, follow COVID guidelines in your area, and check in on an elderly neighbor. They often have things that they just can't attend to. Collect school supplies and backpacks and donate them to your local school. Collect unused makeup and donate to domestic violence shelters in your area. Organize a neighborhood food drive to benefit a local food bank or volunteer at your local food bank. Donate a portion of your weekly allowance to a homeless shelter. Every nickel helps in operating these needed services. You can help your place of worship organize a resume writing workshop that'll help people find and engaging work. Donate face coverings and hand sanitizer to homeless shelters in your area. organize a pet food drive, or donate to your local animal shelter. Volunteering with civic organizations to help clean up after a summer storm is a great way that you can do meaningful help to your neighbors in need. The last focus area is our communities. Community spirit is important now more than ever. Find a way to give back. At school, at a local shelter, or even at a neighborhood playground, there are many ways, big and small, to serve your community this summer. Some of the ideas on the website include, if you know another language, be a translator at a parent PTA meeting, foster a shelter animal, or offer a dog walking service. Return carts for people at the store for an afternoon or during a rainy day when they just want to leave those carts behind. Write thank you notes to men and women in the military or our first responders or healthcare workers. Take treats to your local fire station or to your local first responders. Volunteer at your community center. They are always running activities and need help with managing the people that come to visit for their services. Offer to be an after-school tutor and help kids with their summer school homework. Give free music lessons to a beginner or help coach youth sport teams. Repaint basketball court lines, put up new nets. All of these things help create a more joyful atmosphere in your communities. And lastly, you can volunteer for your local recreation department. They're always looking for people to help supervise and help run their many recreational activities. So what resources are available to you? Well, on the website, there are many, many resources, and they've organized them into 3 areas. There are resources for families and individuals. There are resources for your units, and there's resources for council and districts. Now, these are ideas, these are safe checklists, these are tips and handouts that you can use and print. These are photographs that you might include in flyers to hand out or pamphlets. And there's all kinds of logos and stuff that you can help share the message that the BSA is participating in a summer of service. So safe scouting is clearly extremely important. As Michelle Bierstadt explained during our safety moment, Scouts and their parents expect all Boy Scout of America activities to be conducted safely. To ensure the safety of participants, the Boy Scout of America expects leaders to use the 4 points of SAFE and when delivering the scouting program and to follow the guide to safe scouting. So these 4 links on the website are useful tools to help guide you in doing a safe scouting service project. So when you're ready to commemorate their service, there's a link right there to print your certificate and a place to enter the scout's name and a place for the unit leader or parent to sign. So we encourage everyone who does any kind of service, whether it be helping somebody cross the street with extra bags to someone who does a monster of a conservation project, to download a certificate from the Summer of Service. There's also a link to Class B Trading Post, where you have the option to purchase a variety of identity items. These items are licensed by the Boy Scouts of America, but they are not coming from the National Supply Division, so you may not find them in your local scout shop or on scoutstuff.org. So go to this link on the website. It'll say order my patch, and you can go directly to Class B Trading Post, where you'll have the opportunity to purchase as many of these items as you'd like. So as you can see, it is an exciting opportunity for our scouts to work together to help build a better world. Let's all encourage scouts, units, district, and councils to support the Summer of Service. Help them to be creative, make it their own, and make it count. So this concludes the first part of the presentation, and I'm going to move on to how and why Outdoor Ethics is supporting this great opportunity. Outdoor Ethics is an umbrella term, which is supported by our historical ethic, our outdoor code. The 7 principles of leave no trace, and in some cases, tread lightly, all of which work together to help our scouts develop, or grow their own personal land ethic. The land ethic is an aspirational goal of outdoor ethics and scouting. It is not something we actively try to teach. Rather, it is something that we hope everyone who participates in Scouting's outdoor program develops through time and internalizes for the rest of their lives. Aldo Leopold coined the term in his famous book, The Sand County Almanac. Ethics direct all members of a community to treat one another with respect for the mutual benefit of all. A land ethic expands that definition of community to include not only humans, but all of the other parts of the earth as well: soils, waters, plants, and animals, or what Leopold collectively called the land. So how do we go about achieving our goal? Well, Scouting uses the outdoor program to achieve the aims of Scouting. This continual exposure to the outdoors, doing activities that challenge and engage our youth, creates a passion and what we hope is a love and appreciation for our outdoor world. Through participation in our advancement programs, we learn about our natural world. Cub Scout adventures, merit badges, Ranger Award requirements all give our members plenty of opportunities to explore a wide variety of topics. Following the outdoor code, practicing the 7 principles of leave no trace or tread lightly, we learn about how our actions impact that world and how we can make decisions that protect the outdoors for everyone. The land ethic teaches us that we should consider our actions in light of their impact on the land, and that we should select the available alternatives that do the least violence or impact. Aldo Leopold sums up his observations with, a land ethic then reflects the existence of an ecological conscience, and this in turn reflects a conviction of the individual responsibility for the health of the land. The land ethic grows strongest when we have experienced the land, grown to love and respect it, and have labored to enhance and restore its capacity to self-renew, or in my words, when we have performed our duty to the land. How do we know that we are progressing in delivering our outdoor ethic and ecological conscience? We know when our perception grows so that we see the interaction between ourselves, the soils, plants, animals, and the waters. We know when we can appreciate both the beauty of the interaction and the value of each part. We know when we see damage to the land and we feel impelled to stop and try to restore the land's ability to heal itself. So it's this last point, duty to the land, that brings us to the final part of this evening's presentation. What are some projects that Scouts can do to repair the violence or impacts to our outdoor spaces? Before you start any project, make sure you talk to the managing agency or you work with advocacy groups and you practice safe scouting. It is most important that these groups know what we're doing and that our parents and the Scouts are safe. So I like to go first to the outdoor code to see if there's any clues that can help us with identifying projects. Well, there are some buzzwords there: clean, fire, considerate, conservation. Clean is easy. Scouts can organize trail, campsite, or park cleanups. They can bring a trash bag with them on a family walk or hike. And just about any conservation project that the land managers are interested in having Scouts do supports being conservation minded. Meadow reclamation, soil erosion mitigation, planting native trees, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Here is where the managers and the advocacy groups can be really helpful in helping your Scouts identify valuable projects that they can participate in. Now, did any of you participate in Scouts Trash the Trash Day? Scouts Trash the Trash Day is an international Messengers of Peace project for scouts around the world, where each scout is challenged to bring a friend or family member along and pick up at least 1 kilo or 2.2 pounds of trash each on the first Saturday in May. The idea for this World Scouting program came from the scouts of Troop 1206 in Helena, Montana, after realizing that there are several days throughout the year that scouts get together and do the same thing on the same day. And the example here was JOTA, the Jamboree on the Air. Thus, Scouts Trash the Trash Day was started. Scouts are asked to bring a non-scout with them on this day of service in order to double the impact of their trash cleaning effort. So I applaud all of you that participated in this year's Scouts Trash the Trash Day. Scouts Trash Day is about more than just cleaning our planet. It's a day to show the world what scouting is about, educate individuals about scouting, and recruit new boys, girls, and adults into the scouting movement. Next, we can look to the 7 principles of Leave No Trace. Plan ahead and prepare is all about knowing before you go. There are a lot of people experiencing the outdoors for the very first time. You can help by providing handouts or signage that educates them, providing links to important information like trail maps, weather, Leave No Trace, and how to reach the land managers, providing emergency phone numbers, maybe creating login books at trailheads. Big projects could include building information kiosks, bicycle repair stations on mountain bike trails, emergency first aid stash boxes at climbing sites. You can teach the 7 principles of Leave No Trace or outdoor preparedness to other groups looking to recreate in the outdoors. You can serve as trail ambassadors at trailheads to help anyone with route finding. And this is particularly valuable on holiday weekends, like the upcoming Memorial Day. A lot of families are going to get out and try to do a simple hike, and maybe they just want a little bit of help and making sure they understand what information they brought with them. So there's lots of ways that we can help everyone know before they go and help everyone plan ahead and prepare. And that's what that is all about. Travel and camp on durable surfaces. So helping to provide clear access on designated trails is very valuable. Keeping them clear of encroaching vegetation, clearing branches that have fallen or logs from downed trees. We can help stop all that widening of the trail by making sure we have a clean thoroughfare where people can hike through. We can help land managers by eliminating or disguising unwanted social trails and unwanted campsites. You can look for social trails between campsites, around switchbacks, and at major viewpoints. Major projects to improve trail durability require skilled management, but include installing water bars, creating turnpikes, filling or bridging muddy patches, or improving and supporting the slope of a trail. So here, it's best to follow the guidance of a trail service team, something that your land managers can help you work with if you're interested in that kind of service. An easy one is you can participate in the American Hiking Society's National Trails Day. It is always the first Sunday in June, and this year it is on June 5th. So look to your local hiking or trail clubs for information. So I know I try to get out every National Trails Day. Usually I just do a cleanup, and I usually participate with the New Jersey, New York Trail Conference. So there's a lot of great organizations out there that are going to be doing activities on National Trails Day. Dispose of waste properly. So we covered cleanup and walking along a trail with a trash bag and picking up everything you can see when we talked about the outdoor code. And hopefully some of you participated in the Trash the Trash Day, or maybe this past Earth Day week when the center challenged everyone to leave no trash. To go one step further, we can do a full cleanup around campsites. Now, often a scout unit will go camping in a campsite and we'll line up and we'll make sure our campsite is clean. But we could do a full cleanup of all the campsites in that area. And that would be extremely valuable because I know you'll find stuff that's been left behind. Cleaning up and discarding fishing line or other debris along waterways or around a pond or a lake. Lastly, trash can always be found around the parking areas at trailheads and put-ins. And human waste, if found, can easily be reburied. So these are all ways in which we can help support dispose of waste properly. Leave what you find. Can anybody guess what this topic is going to be about? I bet you can. It's all about invasives. Invasives, invasives, invasives. Invasives can impact nature in many ways, including growing and spreading rapidly over large areas, displacing native plants, including rare or endangered species, reducing food and shelter for native wildlife, eliminating host plants of native insects, and competing for native plant pollinators. Some invasives spread so rapidly that they muscle out most of the other native plants, changing the forest, meadow, wetland, or body of water into an invasive species-dominated landscape. Check your local resources to learn about the invasive species in your area. In addition to land managers, land trusts, garden clubs, master gardeners, municipal planners, and conservation officers, fishermen associations, river protection associations, lake associations, and nature centers are great sources of information and may be actively involved in solving this problem. The North American Invasive Species Network lists the heavy hitters for this cause, and they can be found at naisn.org. Invasives are everywhere. Learn about invasives in your area and how to remove them and how to dispose of them. Brian Wong, a scout from Troop 282 in Martinez, California, recently organized a giant weed pulling project. A plant called the Italian thistle was colonizing large areas near his community. And Brian and his volunteers were going to do something about it. Well, that group removed about 4,000 plants in 3 hours. Talk about making a difference. These scouts really went the extra mile. Minimizing campfire impacts. Lots of work can be done here. Remove unwanted campfire sites. Remove the damaged soil. Separate out partially burned garbage, trash, and pack it out. Reburn or crush large burned wood chunks. Then pulverize and scatter the damaged soil widely in an area not heavily used by humans. Replace that damaged soil with undamaged soil, and then with a layer of organic soil on top. Reestablish ground cover to prevent erosion and encourage naturalization, and also to help disguise what was once a fire site. Established rings also need to be cleaned out, removing and packing out all trash items, crushing all charred wood chunks, and dispersing extra particles all around. Remove all partially burned wood. Pack out what you can, or scatter far away from trails and campsites. Respect wildlife. Natural habitats that support local wildlife are easy to build. Make sure you get permission of a landowner before starting this type of project on their land, but everything from simple brush piles to elaborate gardens of native wildflowers and shrubs can all help shelter and feed a diverse population of wildlife. Again, here's where many advocacy groups come into play. Garden clubs, master gardeners, municipal planners, conservation officers, that same list are all active in creating pollinator pathways. These are thoroughfares in which birds and butterflies and bees all travel to try to pollinate and keep wildlife blooming. So they're always looking for help to help reestablish and help create those pathways. Many wildlife advocates organize population counts to help estimate the health of wildlife in the area. It usually takes a little bit of training before they let you loose, but there is a great way to help participate in supporting wildlife in your area by participating in the population counts by these organizations. Be considerate of other visitors. Our last principle of leave no trace is one of the hardest ones, I think, when it comes to finding service. But if we go back to the very beginning and helping people know before they go, helping educate the public on outdoor courtesy is very valuable. Everyone seeking the outdoors wants to fully enjoy it. You can help teach them how. Now, Tread Lightly provides ethical guidance for our motorized recreation programs in scouting. And most of our use is contained in our scout camps on our established roads that are designed or designated to be for ATV use, or in our waterways that are designed for our motorboats. The damage caused by the misuse of motorized vehicles elsewhere can be extensive in any natural area. So you can fill in and repair the tread damage. You can create natural barriers to help keep vehicles on the road. And the last principle of Tread Lightly, I think, always says it best. You can do your part. Back when I was a scout, love these old tales, right? Back when I was a scout, the BSA had a very similar initiative. Project SOAR, Save Our American Resources. This national program asked all scouts to give back to the environment by doing a conservation good turn. Essentially, service projects for the land. Project SOAR had its initial program launched during the Scout Week in 1971. And during that year, and for many years that followed, units, district, and councils organized events to support this initiative. Some councils, Long Peaks in Colorado is a great example, ran Project SOAR programs as late as 2015. Its basic objective, as stated in the Scouting magazine back in September, October of 1970, was to create attitudes of concern for the quality of our environment and to motivate action programs that will improve that environment for life and living. I think it pretty much matches our goals. Certainly it matches our goals with outdoor ethics. So here's the big announcement as promised. This year marks the 50th anniversary of Project SOAR, and the BSA has decided to celebrate this legacy program as part of the Summer of Service. This banner, Here's a Chance to Soar, will land on the Summer of Service Environment Focus page and will encourage all scouts who do an environmental focused project to claim credit for both participating in the 50th anniversary of Project SOAR and the Summer of Service. All scouts who participate in an environmental focused project can go to a special link to download a special retro certificate that is provided to recognize this event. Now, this certificate closely matches the one that was issued back in 1970 by the Boy Scouts of America. Scouts qualify for both certificates when completing one Summer of Service environmental project. So double dipping at its best. I personally want to thank the Boy Scouts of America for honoring this legacy program that was so very meaningful to me as a young scout. And I ask you to encourage everyone to get outdoors, find a way to serve the environment, and to celebrate Summer of Service and the 50th anniversary of Project SOAR. So thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to participate in tonight's Outdoor Ethics Roundtable. And at this time, I will turn it back to Paula, and we will open the floor and try to answer any unanswered questions.
How can we get a copy of these meetings?
On the Outdoor Ethics website, you will see right on the front page, on the home page, a link to our roundtables. This session is being recorded and it'll be posted on YouTube. So you can get to that video via our website, or you can go to our Outdoor Ethics YouTube channel. And there you'll find all of our past roundtables, as well as our past virtual conference. Any videos that we're producing, we're going to have posted on that YouTube channel. Yeah, and I do want to remind everybody that if your questions do not get answered, or if you have questions or need answers with more details, you can always contact us directly at info@outdoorethics-bsa.org. And
Or at the roundtable email address as well.
there you go.
I have a quick question, if I may. For the EPA award, the hours that you put in for the EPA award, do those also count for Project SOAR?
The Boy Scouts of America says everything counts. So if you are doing a service project for the EPA award during April 1 to October 31st, it will count for summer of service. If it's environmentally oriented, which EPA would be, it will count for the Project SOAR certificate as well. So
Wonderful. Thank you.
There is a question here, Scott. Is there a retro patch for SOAR or just the certificate?
I've been involved in trying to make this anniversary happen, and I was not able to get a patch to happen. Part of that is national supply being on a hold, and they just felt the certificate would be enough, and that was as far as the Boy Scouts wanted to go. So no, sorry.
Okay, while you think of some questions, I know that Chandra Clark has a presentation she would like to make.
Hello. So I just wanted to share in a few weeks, the national structure will be changing by shifting away from regions and areas to the new national service territories. And as we move into this next phase of Boy Scouts of America Together, we, the Outdoor Ethics Subcommittee members, wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you to all of our outdoor ethics area advocates and our region coordinators. Over the last decade, we've had dozens of volunteers step into these important roles to serve by providing information, resources, and training for our councils. We are so grateful for everyone's hard work and passion to grow outdoor ethics awareness, and we hope each of you will continue to assist your councils, your districts, and your units. Thank you.
Thank you, Chandra. On this slide, it says that you have been mailed an evaluation link. It will be mailed tomorrow. Okay, let's see, any new questions in the little hidey hole? The one about slides has been answered. So if anybody has any more questions for Scott or for any of our panelists, I definitely want to thank all of our hardworking roundtable committee. And Paul is out there somewhere. And so we have picked up some new people. And I do want to talk just a second about the really exciting things that are coming up. And, oh, you did get it. Okay, thank you. Those in the email, it went out. Nice. Surprise to me. So anyway, next month with Michelle Bierstadt at the helm, we will be having a roundtable on outdoor ethics camporees and events. So that will be an exciting thing. And some other upcoming roundtables will be some new resources for Cub Scouts for outdoor ethics. And another one will be interviews with outdoor ethics guides and their advisors. So we did listen to you. So if you put those things that you want to see on this roundtable screen, it will happen. So thank you very much for joining us. I want to thank you from far away who come every time. And it's exciting because there's a lot of good ideas happening overseas, and sharing them is awesome. So thank you very much.